Dudes Who Bet Sports.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Sports. Rain, go away. That's the theme of the weekend, whether you live where we're at or at Keeneland, where we're going to be canceling, well, not canceling, but moving opening day and Saturday. So we were talking about it before the show started, just Mother Nature kind of causing havoc with things going on right now. And I don't know, Oakland may have problems this weekend as well. We'll see on that. But other than that, how we doing?
Good. Doing real good.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the weekend. Great basketball should be, and lots of good races too. So,
yeah, thankfully basketball not going to be affected because they play
No.
indoors. So that's
I would say Oakland would probably run because it's not going to get terribly cold.
Yeah.
But the track will be terrible.
It's
they're getting what we're getting. So
it's crazy what's happening here. It just feels like every time Keeneland opens, something happens. Snow and cold and now this. And it's crazy. But what are you going to do? I think they made the right decision. You cannot run in what was sounding like it was, projected to be 12 or 15 inches of rain. I mean, that's not fun for anybody.
They're getting that much?
That was the projections. Now, whether they actually get that or not, who knows always. But it's supposed to just rain and rain and rain.
That's
in Lexington
because the crowd would have to. It's ridiculous. You run the risk of injury. There's just all kinds of stuff. You can't run in that. You just can't.
Yeah, and undoubtedly all the races would have been off the turf if they get what they're projected to get. And like you said, I think people are kind of upset that you're going to run it on a Tuesday, but with the timing, that's just it. And we talked about this before. Like during COVID, we talked about it. Said horse racing is not flexible. It can't be. Timing is everything. So you got to get that thing run. So
those horses are ready to go.
Well, it's not even that. It's just you got to have spacing for the Kentucky Derby, and that's
the Kentucky Derby. Yes, absolutely. So they have no choice.
No, it does suck though. I will say that, but oh well. What are you gonna do?
You got to put that in the hands of the weatherman. You never know, but usually they get rain right.
Yeah, and I do think that is like the all-time thing. If they don't get weather, what that will.
People you got to think they're going to get something. There's probably some storms maybe involved in that too.
Yeah, I think it has been pretty stormy. So hopefully they run Sunday, get that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They'll run for a week straight if they're able to do it. So that'll be kind of interesting, as Keeneland will be every day if they do run on Sunday. All right, let's get to it, though. We'll get to the previews. We're going to preview the three big races on the card. We'll do that first, actually. I had the Final Four up, but we're going to do the three big races first, and then we'll get to the Final Four, amongst other things. All right. Let's start with the Wood Memorial. We talked about Keeneland a little bit on the opening, but we'll go to Aqueduct first, the race that will run on Saturday. Field of 12. It's funny, Aqueduct is usually where we're worried about the weather. It seems like it might be okay there. Crazy race, hard race to figure out. Who do you like in this one?
Oh, this was really tough. This is, I don't like anything really. I mean, as a real solid favorite, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, I settled on four of them. See if you've got the same four.
Okay.
Sand Devil, Captain Cook, Hill Road, and Grande.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really like any of them a whole lot. At first, I picked Sand Devil, and when I turned in my thing, I picked them. But then I got to looking at it a little more today. I'm going to have to change that, I think. And the reason is I got to looking I didn't look at it close enough. He'd won 3 in a row, then went into the Gotham and finished second, but it wasn't. He lost by 3 1/4. But I noticed, and I got to thinking, I don't think this distance is for him. Because he's never run it, and he was at a mile. Now, he did win an allowance at a mile by 12 lengths, but then, who was he running against? I don't know. He comes up into this one, coming off a mile run in the Gotham where he lost ground down the stretch. The other thing is, he's a New York bred. So I kind of have soured on him. So I went with Captain Cook in the top spot. He's won 2 in a row, won at this distance. He has run at this distance. Seems to be in good form. So that's who I went with. Mainly because he has won at this distance.
Yeah.
So that's who I settled on.
That's the big thing about it. And I think he did, even though like his pedigree kind of says no, he shouldn't do that. He did it last time out and he did it pretty easily. So yeah, I'm with you on that. And by the way, we kind of are in a storm right now. So if we go away, that's what happened, folks. There's some thunder going on here where we're at. But yeah, look, I picked Captain Cook to win the race as well.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I just kind of, I went backed him in the last race in the Withers. And obviously this is a much tougher race for him, but yeah, look, he won that pretty easily. He won that in total control, not all out, all the kind of things you want to see. And I was worried about the mile and eighth in the last race, and he was able to do just fine. So I can't worry about it here. I think he's going to be okay.
He's proven himself. So
I think if you want to go with the unproven horse, I do think the number 7 Grande makes a ton of sense.
That's my second.
Yeah, it feels like a Todd Pletcher horse that's just getting better. And, we're in a situation that's weird, though. We've got River Thames at the Bluegrass. We'll talk about in a second. And then we've got Grande. If neither one of these horses runs first or second, Todd Pletcher's without a Kentucky Derby starter. How crazy is that?
Well, we've kind of talking about it when we were going to Will Rogers the other day to the races. Pletcher is down by Pletcher's standards this year. And I really don't think Bafford's that strong either. I mean, he's still got horses that are going to make it. But, it depends. The Santa Anita Derby may change our minds. We may change our minds totally after that.
Yeah, we'll get
we'll get to that in a minute. But you're right. How can we run a Kentucky Derby without Pletcher,
It would be bizarre. And we were told early on, though, that he just didn't have a whole lot. So it's kind of turned out to be true.
We had, Ryan was with us and fascinating guy. And, he gets into stuff pretty deep. And we were talking, how could that happen? Well, there's just times when you buy horses and you think they're good and they don't pan out.
Yep.
And it's not the trainer. It's just stuff happens sometimes. You just don't get those good ones. And who knows? But this horse looks good. I wouldn't be surprised what we don't see this one win this race.
I think he'll run pretty well. The number 6 Hill Road, the other horse you mentioned, and I like him as well. We've kind of gravitated towards somewhat of the same, but Hill Road, it's kind of for him. It's like, okay, you've gotten third, you've never like non-threatening, non-threatening hit the board type of races both times. Does he have another gear where he can win, or will he be another one where even though like the competition looks to be favorable for him, he might get second and third again? I think that's a big question with him.
Yeah, he finished decent third in the juvenile and the Breeders' Cup, but I wasn't impressed with him in the Tampa Bay Derby. He didn't show me much. He lost by 6 1/4.
Yeah,
he wasn't gaining. He lost ground. He never was a threat. So he's going to have to improve a whole lot to win this. And the other one, I guess we're not even considering Rodriguez.
Well,
too.
I think you consider him. I've got him 4th. I think with him, they kind of made a comment that he's not very well behaved at Santa Anita, and their answer was, let's send him all the way across the country to a track where there's not going to be a ton of people there. So that's kind of it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, not a lot of people, but you are having to ship him all the way.
Yeah, I heard you and Ryan talking about that on Talking Track. And my first thought was, okay, you're going to send him to the wood where there's nobody there. And let's say he qualifies for the Derby. What are you going to do with him then when there's 180,000 people there? How's he going to react there?
Yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know. Like he just doesn't. I mean, he could win, but I don't know what his prognosis really looks like. Past that, even with the win. I think from the rail, you send him, you try to take him gate to wire. But the thing is, when he broke his maiden, he went gate to wire, and he hasn't been in front the last 2 races.
No, he is not.
So I don't understand what they're doing with him. And it could be it's not them doing anything with him. It's him just kind of
good
himself. Yeah.
And he was terrible in the last race.
Yep.
He was by 11 1/4. He kind of quit. He's quit.
He's went backwards.
Yeah. So you can't really. Bafford's sending him up there. That doesn't make a lot of sense either. So
Well, and I mean, Mike Smith, it's 2025. I mean, that's not a great sign to me that that's who
No,
they got to ride him. But
no.
one thing I'll say, Kelly had a horse once that was a wild horse.
Yeah.
His name was Diesel's Prize,
Oh,
right?
I remember him. Yeah.
And he broke Terry Thompson's leg up there at Prairie Meadows one night. And the next race, he put the oldest jockey there, Perry Compton, on him.
Yeah.
And I asked him after the race, he said, sometimes those older guys can handle those horses better.
That's
And he
true.
said that we did it. So maybe that's kind of, I'm not saying that is kind of the process, but maybe Mike Smith is up there, a veteran guy to kind of handle a wilder horse and get him to calm down. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's any good though. So
no, that's the thing. I think he's got talent. I think he's got talent, but that's where it ends for me. I don't love Sand Devil. I don't love anybody else in this race. So a lot of people are talking about Statesman. I didn't see much for him. Did you?
Yeah, no. Well, no, not really. He has come off 2 in a row.
Yeah.
But, the maiden and an allowance took him 3 times to break the maiden.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like horses in races like this that took them 3 times.
Yeah.
To break the maiden.
Yeah.
The really good ones, they don't take them 3 times usually.
Not usually, no. I think with the older trainers like Shug or Lucas, even, I mean, that it's more often they turn out to be okay if it takes some time. But
well, you look at his first 3 races too.
Yeah.
Lost by 10, lost by 5, lost by 11.
Yeah.
And this was at Saratoga and Gulfstream, and then he wins 2 races at Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And no knock on Tampa, but the competition there is not as good as where he was at. So had he done this at Gulfstream or somewhere like that, then you may take a little more stock in it. But it's at Tampa.
He does have the look of one that's like, yeah, he's doing fine, but they dropped him, and that's why.
Yeah.
But look, this isn't the most difficult Kentucky.
No, he could do it.
Yeah.
There could be a big upset in this.
So. Omaha is a horse that's kind of been hitting the board, not been able to get the job done. Passion Rules, a horse Kevin brings up. Yeah, look, could jump up and run a big race or run an improved race here. I just don't know that they're good enough to get the job done.
No, I don't either. Haven't done enough. Passion Rules is undefeated.
Yes. Yeah, but
he's ran nice tracks too. But
he needs to, from an analytical standpoint, or from a analytic standpoint, he needs to improve. He has not been very fast in those races as far as the speed figures go. Yeah,
right. So he would be a long shot for sure. But
yep. All right, we're both on
quality in this race. That's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're both on Captain Cook in this one. Let's go to the Santa Anita Derby next. Let's go to this field of 5. First of all, I think we have to comment. It's just embarrassing that this gets 5 horses. And I mean, you hear all the time, Southern California racing, it's on life support. It's not going to last very long. And, I'm pretty much agreeing with that. But, and then you draw a race like the Santa Anita Derby and it gets 5 and you go, how can this happen? Well, because Santa Anita and Southern California racing is on life support. I mean, that's just the best way I could put it. It's disappointing. And I get it. Like these horses don't want to take on journalism and Citizen Bull and, Barnes. I get it. But at the same time, it's like you can't find, 2 more horses or 3 to make it 8. It's bad.
I mean, yeah. Do they not want to ship clear out there? Some of them.
Yeah, I think some of it is shipping. I think it's 2 things. I think shipping. They just, but you don't see that happen a lot. And then the horse population there isn't what it needs to be, and so then this is what you get. Like, for example, if Oaklawn didn't have shippers come in, they have enough horses on the backside where they could go get 10. Now it may not be very good of a race, but they're never going to run 5 in the Arkansas Derby.
Oh, right? Absolutely. Yeah, this field this year was pretty short for them.
It was, and it was. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But field of 5, what do you got?
Well, I think it comes down to one thing, really. I look at Citizen Bull and Barnes going out head to head. Do you see it that way, or do you think they'll lay off? Barnes has laid off before.
I think if the trainers were not both Bob Baffert, yes, but the trainers are both. One's going to go and one's going to sit. They're not going to tire each other out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, and Citizen Bull's the one that goes, he's going to be hard to catch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are on journalism, and I went in and went with Citizen Bull because I think he's done just a little bit more than journalism.
Mm-hmm.
But journalism is pretty good. But you look at Citizen Bull, he's won 2 grade ones, and he's ran in another one, and he finished 3rd. So he's been in some big time races. He should be fresh. You know, they've laid him off a little bit. He came back and won the Robert B. Lewis in kind of an easy win. Probably didn't run all out. So he should be fresh, ready to go. I went with him over journalism. I do like journalism a lot. But I just went ahead and went with Citizen Bull first, and then I have journalism second.
Yeah, Citizen Bull. I saw your picks come through, and I still don't know that we really understand how good one way or another Citizen Bull really is. I think you kind of look at his races as a 2-year-old and go, well, yeah, good wins, but all out by himself and did it his own way. Then you look at the first race as a 3-year-old, kind of did the same thing. And I'm with you. Like you said, a key thing. He's like, I don't think this horse has been all out, and I don't either. And I think he might have more left in the tank, but how much more we don't know.
Who's going to go with him?
Well, listen, I think one of 2 things are going to happen. He's going to go to the front, and Barnes is going to stalk the pace, or they're going to flip flop, right? And Barnes will go to the front, and Citizen Bull will stalk the pace. They're not going to do what they did at Oaklawn last weekend. That's not going to happen. So, I mean, at that point, I don't know what will happen from there, but I do think the horse that gets the lead is the one that's got the better chance of holding off journalism. And what I think they're going to try to do is mess with journalism with the horse that's not on the lead.
Yes.
And try to set it up for that horse that is on the lead. That's what I would do if I was Baffert.
So let's play conspiracy theory here.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to play conspiracy theory that Baffert wants Citizen Bull to win. Right?
Well,
that's going to be our theory. Okay. I'm not saying that's what he's thinking. I'm just saying.
Okay.
And he thinks he's the best horse. So isn't he going to put him in the position that he thinks is best for him and then waste the other one?
That's what I think.
You're a conspiracy theorist.
So, but the conspiracy theorist also says, well, Barnes needs the points. Citizen Bull does not.
Okay.
Do you set it up for Barnes? But then I go, well, if Citizen Bull is better, which we don't know, but if Citizen Bull is better, you're not just going to throw a race away.
No.
And then you go, well, it is a grade 1 Santa Anita Derby, kind of a big race still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I could see cases for both kind of be, but again, to me, it's like one gets to the lead, the other kind of acts as kind of a blocker or just kind of mess with journalism, make him uncomfortable. But okay, so I couldn't tell you which one's which. I think Citizen Bull goes to the front and Barnes sits off. I think.
I do too, because that's what I think. Okay, if I'm the first, I don't know. If I'm the trainer, I'm thinking Citizen Bull's the best horse of the 2 from what I've seen. So I'm going to set him up where he needs to be to win the race.
Yeah.
And that means get him out there and go and see if anybody can catch him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would do. And then maybe mess with journalism with Barnes.
Yeah.
And then Barnes will be close enough if Citizen Bull doesn't run and maybe he can go in. I don't know. When you got 2 horses in a 5-field race, man, it's tough.
I think what you laid out is what's going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen. But I will say this: I don't really think it matters. I think journalism will beat them regardless.
Well, if you think that, then it doesn't make any difference. That's right.
If he's the horse that I think he is, he will win this race no matter what they try to do. Unless Citizen Bull is a little better, like, and I've had Citizen Bull ranked number 1 or number 2 all year. Unless he's a little bit better even than what I think, I don't think he'll hold off Journalism if Journalism runs back to that last race. I just don't think that's going to happen.
That Journalism has been all out.
No, I don't.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he beat that much. I was very disappointed at Barnes in the San Felipe. I didn't think he was impressive at all.
No.
So, Journalism won. I thought he won fairly easy and really didn't have to do a whole lot. Yep. He just sucked him under. And if Citizen Bull is good, which as a 2-year-old, he showed he was, and then he's only ran once since, so that's kind of interesting, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
But you never know with these 2-year-olds, and Baffert knows what he's doing, and you never know. They're not going to rush him if they're not ready. He knows what he's doing, but if he's good enough and he gets the lead, he's going to win. That's the way I look at it. But I don't know. I think it's a screwed up race because there's only 5 horses.
Yeah. I got a lot of pushback from a lot of people when I said I didn't think Barnes was all that good in the San Felipe, and he's like, oh, he ran a 105 buyer and he did this and this and this. I was like, forget all that. Watch the race. He gets an easy lead. He's at the top of the stretch. You think there's no doubt he's going to win. And Journalism destroyed him. And then I get a lot of pushback. We only won by a length and 3/4. How is that destroying him? Watch the race. He passed him like he was standing still. Yes, it wasn't a 6-length win. There was no world ever where Barnes was winning that race once Journalism got out. And that to me is a dominating performance. I don't care that it was only length and 3/4. He pretty much beat him handily without a whole lot of urging. That's a dominant effort, in my opinion. So I just look at it and go, look, how can Barnes really turn the tables? I'm not sure. Is Citizen Bull that much better than Barnes? I'm not sure. Give me Journalism. Like, that's the way I looked at this.
Well, yeah. And now Citizen Bull was the best 2-year-old, right?
Right.
But isn't it funny how they don't come back as 3-year-olds and do as well sometimes?
Yeah. He
hasn't really done anything wrong.
No, this horse has done nothing wrong ever in his whole career.
We were talking in the car. We need a star. We don't have one. We were talking in the car. Who the hell can you favor in the Kentucky Derby at this time? There's no clear-cut favorite. It's going to be impossible to handicap that. So what if Citizen Bull blows their doors off? Do we suddenly then have that horse?
Yes.
That we're looking for?
This is it. This is the race. It has to. If we're going to have a quote-unquote star, like
there is one in the wood or in the Bluegrass that could.
Yeah. But listen to me. I don't think so. It's not. I don't think so. If we're gonna have a Nyquist, a fair, not forget about. I'm not talking about Triple Crown, but just heavy Derby favorites you feel confident in. It's coming out of here.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's not coming out of the Bluegrass.
Either the 1 or the 2 coming out of here.
Or the 4. I mean, if Barnes shows up and improves second time going long, he could be too. But these are like your stars. Now, look, you can poke holes. They've only been facing 4 horses, and I hate Southern California and blah, blah. Everybody's going to throw shade on horses all the time, but that's pretty much it. Like what we've seen, other than let's take these horses out for a second, all across the country, we've seen good performances, but we haven't seen great performances.
We haven't seen
other than Magnitude. Magnitude is a horse but he got hurt, right? So
not running. So
take Sandman for example. There wasn't anything that's like crazy wrong with what he did. I mean, he was really good, but that's not like we're not going into the Kentucky Derby saying this is a star, this is a freak, this horse could do great things. We're going into the Kentucky Derby thinking, okay, he could win,
right?
Maybe he's going to win a couple down the road, but we don't know for sure, I
think it's because we haven't seen anybody string together 2 straight great races.
Other than if Journalism does it or Citizen Bull does it.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. So It's
So,
but then one thing that I don't think you can ignore this. And again, I know like Justify went on to win the Kentucky Derby, not beating a lot of horses. But when you're facing 5 horses every start,
absolutely,
you can't. And look, I've been a big proponent of I don't really care about this. Like 6, 7, 8 horses, whatever, to 20. They're all facing 20 for the first time, or 19, I should say, for the first time. But you go 3 straight races, you're facing 5 horses, 5 horses, 5 horses, and then you got 19 other ones.
That's right.
I don't know. I could buy into that's going to be a little bit of an issue.
And how can you react? How are they going to react to that?
And how are you going to know? And I think again, like with speed horses, like say it's Citizen Bull that romps. Well, he's going to be ahead of, theoretically, he's going to be ahead of most of that group.
Yeah. Well, what if he's not?
Exactly. Well, then you're in trouble no matter what.
Right. What if he gets the one post?
That stuff, there's not even a
you don't know that.
Care. So. But journalism is not a speed horse, so he's going to be surrounded by a lot of horses.
That's right.
For the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't love it.
No.
Don't love it. So put it that. All right, you're going Citizen Bull. I'm going journalism. Let's go to a sentence I never thought I would say. Let's go to Tuesday, where they're running the Bluegrass Stakes. That's right. When Will Rogers and Turf Paradise and Parks all having their great Tuesday cards, shuffled in there will be Keeneland as they'll run the Bluegrass on Tuesday. Field of 7, confusing race. You said you thought there was a horse that could be a star in here. I want you to tell me who that is.
Well, I mean, I think the 4. What if he romps him?
Well, okay.
No.
No, I don't think he's. I don't think he's a star. No. I love him. I picked him in this race, but I don't think he's a star.
Well, it'll be 2 in a row if he can do it. What if he goes and romps by 6 lengths?
Well, I mean, okay, that's fair enough.
What if he just gets that lead and smokes him?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if he wins a close one or they're gaining on him at the end or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I was hearing you guys talking about him, and neither one. So, you guys, maybe I'm misheard you, but you don't think you think the distance is a problem with him, right?
Yeah, I do. I picked him, but I do think the distance is a problem. I think distance is a problem for a lot of these horses in this race. Okay. Look, the trainer said we're going to the Pat Day Mile, and then he dominated the Tampa Bay Derby, and now we'll probably go to Kentucky.
Well, he has no choice now.
Yeah. Now I do think if he shows up here and he runs 5th, they may.
Yeah, then they have a I agree. I do like him. I liked him before the Derby or the Tampa Bay Derby. And man, he was great. He just got the lead and away he went,
Mm-hmm.
He never was challenged much. And once he got out by himself, nobody was going to catch him. So I picked him as well. And then after that, it's kind of a cluster, behind it. Who in the heck's going to win? I went with with River Thames first, or Thames, whatever it is. But I'm not been impressed with him. So he could have won that Fountain of Youth, and he didn't. So
should have.
And then Sovereignty coming back and not doing very well, that even makes him less of a threat. Yeah,
I agree, and I couldn't have been more disappointed in Sovereignty in the Florida Derby.
That was a disaster.
It was a disaster in terms of what I thought he could do versus what he did. Yeah.
I mean, he had every chance to win the race, and he didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He didn't. It wasn't impressive at all. So
no.
And then, of course, we don't know what to do with Chancer McPatrick either.
Yeah.
It looks to me like he can't get the distance.
Well, that's look. I don't think River Thames can get. I mean, when I say they can't get it, I don't think it's optimal. Like, I don't think this is what they really want to be doing. River Thames Owen Almighty and Chancellor McPatrick. I'm skeptical. Maybe they can. I'm skeptical is what I'm saying.
Well, I do it. You know, you got to just look at what they've done when they moved up, like at them on the 16th. I mean, they haven't shown what they showed at the lesser distances.
But that leaves you with Render Judgment and Admiral Dennis, both 20 to 1s. I mean, I can't do it, right? With either one of those. And then you got East Avenue, who knows? I mean, he looks done. I think it's too early to say he's done, but can you trust him?
No. I mean, when he moved up, I mean, those are better races maybe than this one even.
Yeah.
My God, you lose by 13 1/4, then you come back and lose by 22 3/4.
Yeah.
How can you be 3 to 1?
Yeah. And then Burnham Square, who didn't look good in the Fountain of Youth. He did beat Tapan Street.
That's what I was getting ready to say. He could pull a race like Tapan Street did.
Yeah.
He could.
Yeah, he could.
He could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see him run a little bit better in the Fountain of Youth than what he did.
Yeah.
It wasn't awful,
mm-hmm.
but he just never made any move at all. He was kind of in that 4th, 5th position all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Never changed. There was no kick.
Yep.
Kind of scary.
Yep.
There was a kick in the Holy Bull, though.
Yeah, I know. And like Jared's going back with Burnham Square because he's like, I don't like anybody, and if he runs that Holy Bull, I think he's got a shot. And like, I get it. Yeah.
Oh, he's probably the one you pick if you don't like the others.
Yeah.
At 9 to 2.
Yeah.
And if they don't fire, if Owen can't get the distance and River Thames can't either, somebody's got to win it. And I think it would, because I don't think Chancellor McPatrick can get it. I don't.
I think he's going to run a really big race, but I don't know what that means. Yeah, I do, but I don't know what that means for him. His last races, both around 2 turns, he just wasn't very good. And I'm just not sure he's that good of a horse. I think, yes, as a 2-year-old, he caught some fields he could beat, and he beat them, and it's all great. But I just don't know. I would not be shocked if he wins here, though. But I just don't think anybody's very good in this race.
Right. Those races were at shorter distances.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 1 turns. Yeah.
I think this happens sometimes too. You see a horse and they run really well as a 2-year-old, and you look at the name and you love the name.
Yeah.
This guy is good.
Yeah.
I see that in horse racing. It seems to me like, oh God, Chancellor McPatrick. That's a cool name. Look at him run. Sometimes I think their name gives them a little bit of recognition as well, but I'll be surprised if he wins.
Yeah, definitely a horse that's exciting as well. He comes from out of it, so he's a lovable horse. There's no doubt. Yeah,
that would be cool to watch him. Yeah, because in his 3 wins, he's come from way out of it.
Oh yeah, yep. And
in the 2 losses, he didn't have it. So
no.
Well, then that last one at Tampa, he didn't get that far behind in that one.
He was a little bit different. Yeah, a little bit different positioning in that race there, and I think both the Chad runners out of that will run better. We know second out, they're going to run better. And Brown usually sends the horse he thinks is best suited for the Derby right here. But
he's done that before.
I came into this, usually, I come into this race and go, okay, Chad Brown, Brad Cox, let's start with there. We know that those 2 are going to be tough. And then we'll branch out. Not saying you always pick them, but we'll branch out. Cox horse, Admiral Dennis, to me, it just feels like, hey, let's take one more shot with him, and I get that. I don't blame him. Now look at Chad's horse. I'm like, I just don't think this horse is good enough. So I couldn't put him on top. So,
Admiral Dennis has done nothing.
No, I just couldn't. I thought he would be a good horse, and he just hasn't been. No. That's the best. I hate to be blunt, but he just hasn't been very good. But like with him and Render Judgment both, they haven't been good, but I mean, I do think they can run this distance. And so that might put them in the equation because that is a qualifier here that some of these just it's questionable. But with that being said, I'm going to go on Almighty to win. I think he's the one to beat here. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Done.
Let's see that's all for horse racing. You got anything else before we move on?
No.
No.
Let's move on to the big ones.
All right. Well, let's go to the Final Four. We've got two great games, hopefully, in a tournament that has not been the most entertaining, I would say. But the four number ones are here for the first time since 2008. We haven't seen the upsets. We've got Florida Auburn to kick us off on Saturday. Florida's a 2.5-point favorite. Who you got in this one?
Oh, boy. Well, does anyone know? I haven't checked yet. I haven't been in the basketball mood yet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of out of the loop. Is the big kid from Auburn going to play?
I think it's the last I saw a game time decision there.
Okay, so that's hard to handicap this one. He makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
And I have been on record that I didn't think Auburn would get here. They have played really well. They have. They have been impressive. And they took it to Michigan State and they whipped their butt. So if he plays, that changes the whole thing. The thing with Florida is they have taken the other team's best shots right in the mouth. They've got hit right in the mouth, and they've won.
Yep.
And that's impressive.
Yep.
You're a number one seed, and you're playing these other teams, and they are shooting the lights out of it, and you're taking it right to the mouth. And you come away with a win, that's impressive. So I'm taking Florida. I think they're a little bit better as far as being able to withstand the pressure, maybe. But this is going to be a heck of a game if he plays.
Yeah, SEC battle here. And, look, I kind of like the battle-tested aspect of Florida. I kind of look at them and go, I don't know that they've really played their best game yet.
I don't think they have. But, if they need to score 100, they'll score 100.
Yep.
They do what they have to do, and they don't get rattled. I thought they were beat a couple times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, hell, I thought UConn had them.
Oh, UConn played unbelievable. They couldn't have shot. And was it Arizona that they beat?
Texas Tech was the team that
Texas Tech.
They were dead against Texas Tech.
They were.
Yeah.
They were great. Texas Tech was fantastic.
Yep.
In that game. They played really, really well.
Yep.
So, and then it was Arizona, wasn't it?
Yeah, the game before, yeah.
Arizona, I watched that because I had Florida and the points, and Arizona just hit everything. Florida was ahead by 15, 16 points, and here comes they're hitting everything. They had a kid had 35 points. He couldn't miss. He was hitting shots from everywhere. They were in his face, and they pulled it out. And they've been impressive in the fact that they've really took on teams that played great against them, and they beat them. So I'm going to go with them. I do think Auburn has the best talent, and if he's healthy, they may beat him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this one. I trust Florida a little bit more. I think they have. To me, when I look at the SEC, Florida's been the most impressive team. Auburn's been second. That's the way I look at it, and that's here they are.
Yep.
All right, let's go to this one. Duke and Houston next. Duke is a 4.5-point favorite here against Houston. I know we're both rooting for the Cougars in this spot, but I kind of think it's Duke in this one. They have been super impressive. What do you think about this one?
They've really been good. And they're solid. They're so solid. They got everything. They need a 3-point shot. Boom, they hit it. And Houston, I thought was beat in the quarters. Was it the Elite Eight when?
No, it was the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16 when Purdue had them. They did not play well. that night. And I was so worried going into that Tennessee game, and my God, they came out and they just whipped them. They bullied them, is what they did.
Mhm.
Can they bully Duke? You know they're going to get in their face. It's going to come down to, is Houston good enough? Do they
Mhm.
have enough talent to beat them?
Mhm.
Are they talented enough? Because we were talking, you look in the NBA, try to find a bunch of Houston guys in the NBA. We're
Yeah, you don't have
talking
'em.
teams that have won 30 games in the last 3 or 4 years. Seems like every year they've won 30.
Yeah.
They don't have NBA guys.
No.
They win because they're so well coached and they're so physical and they play an old style of basketball. They get in your face, they run the tempo, they rebound out their ass. They overachieve is what they do. Well, sometimes you run up against a team you can't overachieve against. That's what scares me about Duke. If Duke plays their best game, they're going to win.
Yeah, it's going to be a tempo game. If Houston can slow it down and turn it into a slugfest, I think they'll win or at least cover. It's hard to do that against a team with this much talent. That's the thing.
They're so big too.
They're just super, super impressive. They really are. I think they get it done. I think it's Duke, Florida, and I originally, when we filled up the bracket, I had Duke, Florida, and I put Florida on top.
I have Duke.
Kind of think it's going to be Duke now, though.
Yeah. This is going to be I think so too.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really good game. I mean, because it's going to be a fascinating game because Houston has got to slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get in a run up and down the floor game with Duke.
No.
They can't, and they won't. They won't. They'll slow it down the best they can.
Yeah.
They love to run that clock 30 seconds every time they get it. They love to do that.
Yep.
This Houston team can shoot the ball better than the others. I mean, they can shoot that 3 ball.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see them win, but I really think they're the fourth likely winner.
Talent-wise,
I mean, even if they win against Duke, they're 4 or 5 point underdog in the next game.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question.
I would think Duke will be a slight.
If they beat Duke,
mm-hmm.
that's gonna give them some brownie points right there. That may get that line a little bit less.
I would think if Duke wins, they'll be about a 2-point favorite against Auburn or Florida. And then I'd say if Duke loses, you're going to look at Auburn or Florida being like a 2.5, 3.5 point favorite. That would be my guess.
Let me ask you this. If Houston was playing Auburn, would you have to think twice about picking Auburn over Houston? Could you see Houston frustrating Auburn more than they're going to Duke?
Yes. I think Auburn would have been a better matchup for Houston. I don't think Florida or Duke would be a good matchup for Houston.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. I do think Auburn, the way Auburn plays, I think there's a chance you could get them out of their element and you could really frustrate them. I just don't think Florida or Duke you're going to be able to do that with.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Sampson get it. Man, this year, I think he's had great teams make it to the Elite Eight, and these teams we're talking super teams this time. I mean, these teams are good.
Yeah. I just think, it's the worst draw you could have gotten. This team is really, really, really good.
It's like if you're in the women's and you get in there with UConn.
Yeah.
Or South Carolina.
Yeah, you got to beat a team like this.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're in with them. We're screwed.
Yeah. Listen, that
South Carolina play UConn in girls.
What's that?
Doesn't South Carolina play UConn in the girls?
I couldn't tell you. Let's see. Guys, you hear the thunder roll in the background here. It looks like UConn at UCLA in the girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they may end up playing though.
So same kind of situation. You got a SEC matchup in one of the finals, and then you got a non-SEC matchup in the other one there.
If you
just like
like
in the men.
girls basketball, this is must see.
Yeah, and we just missed, and I think UConn was the better team versus USC no matter what. But the injury obviously played a big part in USC losing. It could have been all 4 number 1 seeds in both men's and women's. And really, I mean, yes, UConn's a 2 seed, but they feel a lot like a 1 seed. So,
Well, that first game, that will be a war.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolute war.
Just for the hell of it, I guess South Carolina, UConn. Is that what you're thinking here?
I'm not sure South Carolina's that good. I don't think they're as good as they have been. Texas could beat them. Yep. Texas will frustrate the crap out of you. Man, they guard you.
Mm-hmm.
They got a wily old coach that knows what he's doing. I'm not sure on that one. That one, I'll take Texas in the points.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't seen UCLA much.
Yeah.
I think too many points just looking at it. But
I kind of think UConn's going to win it, but
I think they'll win. I don't know. 7.5's a lot.
Yeah, they're UConn, though.
UCLA's 34-2.
Mm-hmm.
They've been at the top all year. I mean, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The great player for UConn, Bickers, whatever her name is, Paige. I know her by Paige. She's out of her mind right now. She's just lighting it up. God, she's good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's been OU had them behind at the half, and then they just got dominated in the second.
Well, Paige came out and made everything she shot. I mean,
she outscored Oklahoma total. Yeah,
she was unbelievable in the second half, and OU's not that good, so their player too short. And they get against these teams, they're not physical enough. You got these kids are physical. Yep. You don't want to play these guys. I don't know about you. I haven't seen them that much, but they're 34-2. They're really good. So
very good.
Be Final Four for both the women.
Oh yeah,
and men. Be really good.
Yeah.
So
all right, weekly hockey talk here as we end the show, and
you bet both got our Blues stuff on.
We're in a situation where we've about got it. If we win tonight and Calgary loses, we're pretty much in.
Yeah, this is huge tonight.
Yeah.
But I don't think Calgary's going to lose tonight.
Probably not. Vancouver's dead. Utah might as well be. Ducks are dead. So it's really now 3 teams, 2 spots.
And the reason Calgary's still alive is they got 2 games in hand on us.
Yes. But if they lose tonight, they're almost dead, and we've got it. And then it's a matter of we're going to be the first wild card or the second wild card after that. So
that's right. And because we might catch Minnesota.
I mean, we've caught them, so it's just a matter of out finishing them now.
We may go ahead and could we get up to 6?
I don't think so. No.
Right.
No. I don't think they can. They're 7 behind Colorado. They can't.
Oh, that's right. It's Colorado. They have to catch.
Yeah, they can't catch them.
They're not going to catch them.
Nope. It's going to be very interesting to see. Are they 1 or 2 in the wild card? Because I would rather be 2, but I think they're going to be 1, and I think it's going to be Vegas that the Blues have to match up with in the first round.
You look at the 3 teams in the Central that's ahead of us.
Oh, those are great teams.
You don't want to play Dallas or Colorado.
No.
Of the 3, you want to, and it's really ironic that you would rather play the team that's first.
I would. Yep.
And it's so dumb to say that because they're first.
Yep.
Over 2 great teams.
Yep.
Which means you shouldn't want to play them, but they don't have the mystique because they've not done well in the playoffs.
Yep. Yep.
And, Dallas is tough in the playoffs, and Colorado's proven as well.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to play Vegas.
Mm-mm.
And if you end up being the 7 seed, that's who you would play.
Yep.
And so, but it'd be nice to play the Kings. I'd like to play them.
Well, look, I think the advantage of getting in and playing Vegas is if you can beat them, I don't think your second round matchup would be quite as hard.
No.
if you're the second wild card, I don't think your first round matchup's quite as hard. Although, look, Winnipeg will be very tough to beat. I'm not sitting here saying the Blues are going to beat them. What I'm saying is, I think they can beat them.
They could.
I don't think they will. I don't think they can beat Vegas. I don't.
I don't think they can beat. Not that they would ever play them. I don't think they can beat Dallas or Colorado either.
Well, I don't think so either. Dallas, in Colorado, both there's too much firepower, I think, for us to beat them in a 7-game series.
They might win a game though, or two.
I think so. But look, here's the deal. St. Louis, with a win tonight, matches the record for most wins in a row, franchise record for most wins in a row. I mean, this, no matter what happens,
I know what you're going to say.
This is incredible what they've done.
It is. So, okay, going into the Four Nations tournament, I would have given them a 5% chance to make the playoffs.
Well, they were dead. Yeah,
they were dead.
They were dead.
What have they lost? 3 games since then, or 2?
Yes, in the games they've lost, they've absolutely blew them. They could have won every single game.
This is incredible with a team that's was doing nothing.
No. So
they
just
for
reference, the last team that won 11 in a row won the Stanley Cup. That for St. Louis, I'm talking about.
And they came out of nowhere too.
But this is not that team. That team had star players. That
team had some scorers, yeah.
This team they don't really have an established star player on the team, and they've won 10 in a row. I mean, to me, if you make the playoffs, whatever else happens, it doesn't really matter. It's been a great season for the Blues.
This team, no.
Yeah.
No expectations going into this. And coming out of that Four Nations tournament, they had 3 straight tough games, if I remember. They had Edmonton. Who else did they? Somebody
Florida. It was Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Florida, I believe, is who they played. Let me double check
3
that.
Great teams coming out of that thing. And you were thinking, when you saw that, well, there's 3 more losses. And we were thinking, who are they going to trade?
I'm sorry, it was Winnipeg, Colorado, and Seattle. That's who it was. And then Washington. So that, and then the Kings.
And the Kings, Dallas, and the Kings again.
Yeah, yeah. And the first game out of it, they dominated it and got beat. They blew it against Winnipeg, and then they went on a roll. They beat Colorado, Seattle, Washington, and the Kings, and that kept them from trading all their players. So,
we were having discussions. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Who are they going to trade?
Yeah.
And because are we going to keep them? Because we made a little bit of a rally here. We're playing decent. And really, who have we got to trade?
Yeah. And Kevin says it best. Boston is the catalyst for the Blues rally because
where Montgomery was, right?
When they got Montgomery, that changed everything. And all you have to do is listen to him talk once to know, okay, we have a better coach than what we had. He's just an ultimate professional. And you just kind of look at what they've done since Montgomery's gotten there. Yeah, they had a little bit of lull where they weren't very good. Every NHL team has that no matter what throughout the season. But for the most part, since they've gotten there, they have done things they need to do to win games. Maybe they don't win them all, but they're in the games. And he has gotten the young players to play exceptionally better than they were. That's been the key to this thing.
Yeah. Well, how about Kyrou?
That's it. Kyrou, Thomas, Holloway, Broberg, Bolduc, Neighbors. These guys that were also ran type of guys are being great night in and night out for the team, and that's been the difference.
He's got Thomas. I look at them as veterans, not young guys. He's got them
still pretty damn young.
Yeah, they are, but they're playing at the potential that they had, and nobody else could get it out of them. Everybody knew they were good.
Yep.
And Neighbors is the same way.
Yep.
He's always been highly touted, but now he's playing great.
Yep.
So, and then the other thing I think is so like 2019, not that I don't see any way they can make a run, but anyway, I don't think we were thinking we were a little different in 2019 because we started way back in January and made this run. Then I think we had a little confidence then. They were rolling. this team is too, but
Yeah.
I think the Four Nations tournament turned Bennington around.
Yeah. No, it
Not
did.
that he was playing bad,
Mm-hmm.
but now he's playing better, and we all know the bigger the game, the better he plays.
Yep.
Once he's a screwball.
Mm-hmm.
He's hard to motivate, I think. There's this time. Goalies are weird anyway. They got to be. Who in the heck wants to sit there and get a puck shot at him? You know, they got to be a little weird.
Yep.
His mind wanders if the team isn't any good.
Yep.
But when they're good, huh?
He's been lights out.
Yes.
I mean, he really has.
Good now.
What's that?
Hofer's playing great.
Oh, Hofer's playing great right now. Yeah. Yeah.
If you remember, that's what happened when they got on that roll back in 19. Jake Allen, when he would play for Bennington, he would be fantastic.
Yep. Yep.
You had two goalies, you couldn't really tell the difference.
Yep.
They all got to getting after it. And now I didn't think they played well against Detroit.
They didn't, and they won. And that's a
And
sign of a really good team.
It doesn't matter. This is huge tonight. Pittsburgh's a team that they struggle with.
Yep.
Pittsburgh's terrible.
Pittsburgh was the last team to beat the Blues. They've won 10 in a row since losing at Pittsburgh. So I think we will see a great game. I think they'll play great tonight. That's my opinion. Now, past that, this thing's going to go sideways. Colorado, Winnipeg, Edmonton. We're going to lose one of those, and this thing's going to be over. But I think the Blues will play great tonight.
I think we're bragging too much. It could be jinxed.
Well, look, I think we're past that because it's been incredible. I mean, the roll they're on has been incredible.
We need 3 more.
Yeah.
This one is huge.
I think you get this one tonight. I think you're in the driver's seat. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we could finally go, I think they're going to make it versus, boy, they still got work to do, you know?
Well, those next 3. Oh.
Well, that's just it. But if you can win, if you can get this one tonight, you can go like 1 and 2 in those next 3 and you feel okay.
Yeah.
If you lose tonight, all of a sudden those games become dicey, you know?
Yeah, we split those up and put Seattle in between those, you know?
I mean,
won't be easy. They got to go out there. Did you see what they did to the Canucks last night?
I mean, the Canucks, Seattle pretty much put the final nail in the coffin for the Canucks last night. So they're done. I'm not worried about them.
Utah's, I hope it doesn't come down to us having to beat them on the last day, because that's a team we can't beat.
I hope you just get this one tonight. Calgary loses, and then we're you know, it is what it is. But to get 11 would be amazing, and then they're going for 12 against Colorado on Saturday. That will be unbelievable. The crowds are back. I mean, it's been crazy in that building.
Game, right?
Yeah.
The Detroit game was sold out.
Yeah, and a great. Well, I mean, what a terrible loss turned into a great win that was.
Oh yeah, that was going to be bad.
Oh man, it was frustrating for the whole game.
They didn't play very well.
No,
and we all know why. It's the Red Wings. We still can't get past them. But
yeah, I know.
Why in the world was that game blacked out here, and it was on ESPN?
Every game is blacked out here, and it wasn't on ESPN.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
It was on ESPN Plus.
No, it was not. It was on ESPN.
Okay.
No, it came up on YouTube TV.
It was.
And it never does ESPN Plus.
Okay.
No, it was on. My buddy was mad too. He's a Red Wings fan.
Well,
up and says, "Sorry, this game is blacked out."
If you want to talk about blackouts in the NHL and Major League Baseball, and NBA, it's just I don't know. Yeah.
What we're talking about is we live 4 hours from St. Louis, and we cannot watch a Blues game on ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
it's like we're going to get in the car and go watch the game.
Right. Now they're protecting FanDuel. That's what that's all
know
about.
That, but come on.
It's ridiculous. Yep. It is ridiculous for sure. Yeah. The East is getting interesting because it looks like Toronto may win the Atlantic, and that's surprising. Florida with the injuries, they just can't keep it up. Tampa, they're good, not great. So I think it is going to be Toronto, and then we'll see if Washington can have success in the postseason. That's going to be the big question mark.
Will be.
Yeah.
How about Montreal?
Hell,
It would be nice for them to make it. That would be cool.
they got work to do. The Rangers are going to be tough to hold off.
They are.
Columbus is still a scrappy team.
They're lurking in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, not really worried about Detroit. I don't think they're good enough.
Montreal beat Florida back-to-back.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're not playing very well right now.
No.
I mean, they're 4-5-1. They've lost 3 in a row. Not good.
Ottawa, how about them? They're not getting enough love.
Yeah, they're a very good team. They're a very good team. Another team post Four Nations has been very good. So
yes, they have.
Tough game tonight against Tampa. I think Ottawa beats them tonight. It's in Ottawa.
It's in Ottawa.
Yep. I think they'll get them. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we get out of here?
No, don't think so.
Okay. Sounds
So
good.
we're gonna watch it rain today.
Poor Kevin. The Devils started off so good, and then injuries and things have kind of disrupted their season for sure. You're in a playoff spot, though. I think they're going to make it. So I don't think it's going to be an epic collapse, but yeah, a little bit worrisome for sure. All right. I think that's it. I don't think we've got anything else. We're going to have Bleakers off. He said it was going to be at 1. Actually, he never replied. So I don't know. It could be 1 or it could be 2. I think it's going to be one of those 2 times. So we'll see Bleakers off here soon. Got to prepare for that. All right. We're going to sign off, guys.
Talk about the Thunder just a minute.
Oh, yeah. I said you have anything else? You said no.
I know. I just now thought
went on.
I just now thought of it. It's the best bet in the NBA right now.
The Thunder? Yeah.
Yeah. But they're so scary to bet because it's 15, 14, 16. They are unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just beat teams. They destroy them.
Yeah.
And they cover every night.
It's crazy what they've done. I mean, they're incredible. And I don't know if they're going to win it or not, but I hope they do for sure because they deserve it.
It's going to be tough, but and they still got a couple guys out. And if you like to watch a team that shoot it, of course they're never on. They don't get a whole lot of love.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they can come through the West. That's tough. How would you like to have to beat the Lakers?
I would not want to beat the Lakers. No.
Or Golden State.
Wouldn't want to beat Golden State.
Now that they got Butler.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to play them.
They're playing as well as the Blues are right now.
Yeah. Would not want to play them.
No.
I mean, look though, it's going to be tough, but it always is. There's always somebody in the way, you know?
Yeah. And then you got Denver sitting there with, it'll be tough coming through that. It's going to be fun though.
And then you're probably going to have Boston or I guess Cleveland maybe waiting for you. So,
yeah. The East is pretty, you get past those 2 teams. Well, the Knicks aren't bad.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get, what's his name back, Brunson, he's been out and they've hung in there. They're not bad. They could upset somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. As Kevin asked here, do we think the NBA is still a sport anyone watches in 5 years? I haven't watched it in 5 years. So I tell you, everybody's, you got to watch the Thunder. I watched one time. They blew like a 20-point lead and lost. I said, okay, I'm not going to do that again.
So what can they do to improve it?
What can the NBA do to improve? I don't know.
Why are they not watching it?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I mean, why has it lost its appeal?
I think.
Is it too many games?
I think too many games where the players don't play. You know, I think that's part of it.
You talk about a league, there's no parity.
I think like the old, and like I'm getting older. This will come out with this statement, but I just don't. It's not entertaining. Like it's not really basketball to me. I don't. You know what I mean? Like I don't like it that well.
Every team does the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching. I don't like what it's not, but it's kind of like at times it's like a pickup game, you know.
It's just some atrocious teams too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do agree with this. Like during the playoffs, I think it gets a lot better. Like I watch the playoffs.
First round. Once you get and you get into those second rounds, yeah, you get to the meat of it. You get rid of the ones that probably shouldn't be in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's gonna. Yeah, you're right on that one. I think the regular season's just blah.
I mean, when you think about if it's Nuggets, Thunder, and Golden State, Lakers, like that sounds fun. Like that sounds like something
that'd be
I
good.
will watch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too many games, but it's kind of like baseball. 162 games. Are you kidding me? It's just I don't know. That's the one I watch.
I mean, I've watched more baseball just this year than I have the last 5 years of NBA games that were not playoff games. I could totally confirm that. And I probably watched 6 games, maybe 6 or 7.
I don't.
Baseball.
I very rarely watch a regular season NBA game.
Yeah.
Never watch the whole thing. Never.
Yeah.
And it might be on as background noise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing something else, and I'll look at. If I don't have a bet on it, I will not watch it unless it's the Thunder.
Yep.
Yeah. It can't hold my interest. It just can't. So
baseball, if you want to talk about it for a second, walk-off home run for Ohtani last night as the Braves continue to be winless and the Dodgers are undefeated. So that was pretty cool last night.
Braves are 0-7.
Yep.
Or 0-6, maybe.
Yeah, I think it is 7. I think it's 0-7. Yeah, because they beat or they went to San Diego and got swept, and then the Dodgers knocked them out too.
Kind of a tough opening 7-game stretch.
Yeah, but you got to win a couple.
San Diego's undefeated too.
Yeah. Well, listen, that division, Arizona's good.
Yeah, that's a tough division.
Yeah.
The Giants, they're not. They're always hard to beat.
Yes.
And then you got some of those divisions like the Central and the both leagues.
Mm-hmm.
The NL Central is a joke.
It's really, really, really bad. So bad that the Cardinals don't look awful in that division right now.
They got a really good start. They had Minnesota. They had the Angels right off the bat, so that was pretty good. So
yeah, they're 4-2, and they had a chance to win all of them. So I think if you're a Cardinal fan, that's kind of the expectation. You're in games. I think you're doing well with that team that they've got this year.
That's right. They're off to a good start. So
anyway, they really should have. The first game, it's a toss-up. Second game, they really should have won against LA.
They blew that.
Angels, that is. Yeah. So
not the Dodgers.
No, definitely not the Dodgers. All right. Well, like I said, Dodgers. We'll see. Will they lose a game this year? Hard to say no.
Well, they set the all-time record for wins.
They're 8-0. We got 8 of them already. They're going to go to Philly this weekend, so we'll see if they can keep it going. But yeah, I don't think they're going to win all 3 out there, but we'll see. Wouldn't be shocked. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you back here next week. Everybody have a good weekend. Stay safe out there if you're in the storm situations that are going on. We'll see. Going to be a helter-skelter week for sure. But all right, guys, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week.